This project is rooted in a common desire to work in the desert in Egypt. Towards this goal, the group DAST was formed in May 1995 by Alexandra Stratou, Stella Konstantinidis, and myself. The parameters that we had set for this project were site-specific work of such scale that the viewer would experience it through walking. Upon our search for a location, we found ourselves in the desert bordering the Red Sea, a place where the infinity of the sea coexisted with the infinity of the desert. Being Greek, the sea is our only infinite landscape. The union of sea and desert generated the core of desert breath, which was the tension between positive and negative volumes and their final equilibrium through the element of water. For a team to work as it did, so well in our case, there has to be a commitment to a common goal, mutual trust, and positive energy between members. The idea was in development for many months and slowly crystallized through numerous discussions and small-scale experimental models in Greece. We then approached Arteam, a large construction company in Egypt. Moved by the faith of 3 young artists, Arteam sponsored the project and undertook all construction according to our on-site supervision. The element of time is a vital part of desert breath. This was obvious during the creative process and the actual construction, which lasted for about 9 months. There is a time zero, the moment of completion. At this moment, the work is surrendered to the forces of nature, and here begins the slow process of absorption back into the landscape which originally gave birth to it. The choice of the spiral functions on 2 levels. First, it symbolizes and coexists with the infinity of the desert. The spiral could, theoretically, expand forever, but has a definite point of departure, a source of life, a source of energy. Secondly, it conspires with the way the viewer perceives the work. It is a logarithmic spiral, and so each cone is scaled according to its distance from the central point. The viewer, therefore, begins to walk from the outside inwards. At this point, the cones are approximately twice the height of a human being and have a diameter of 15 meters. As the viewer walks slowly towards the center, the cones successively diminish in scale. This happens so gradually you almost don't realize. At a certain point, while walking the spiral walk, it strikes you that you are now at the same height as the cones. Approaching even closer to the center, to the pool of water, the cones become, in relation to the viewer, almost objects. Then comes the sensation that you have shifted in scale, growing larger as you walk. In this strange inverse way, you start to comprehend the relationship between the human scale and that of the desert. Only after you have distanced yourself and climbed a nearby mountain to obtain an aerial view of the work, does the shape of the spiral reveal itself in its entirety. You can see from afar the stretch of sea and desert, and you come to acknowledge that desert breath grew out of this very landscape.